Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock, where it's a review of the movie Suspended Animation. No cartoons. And why put animation in there? It's about a guy named Alex MacArthur who's held hostage by a couple of cannibalistic sisters while riding a snowmobile. And it turns out these two sisters are, in fact, cannibals. Of course, they try and take care of him and everything like that, but he soon discovers that, anybody who comes across their property, they're not going to make it out of there anytime soon. Well, one of them, named Vanessa, decides to tell our hero Alex about how at one time she had a daughter but had to give her up for adoption. Well, Alex uses his charm against the sisters, and one of them, who kind of looks like Kathy Bates, winds up getting killed off, and Alex thinks he's free and everything like that, so he goes back to the city and lives his life, but he kind of starts to play detective to find the I guess you could say illegitimate daughter, or the daughter that Vanessa gave up. And so he starts to look for her and finds out she's a wannabe actress, and also finds out that the poor woman has a son that, well, let's just say he likes to do some really weird things in his spare time. I don't want to get into it. It's very unusual, very strange. Well, Alex and Clara begin a pretty close relationship, and Clara's psycho son tries to kill the both of them. Alex winds up killing him. Alex goes back to his wife, which he finds out is pregnant. He makes this movie about the psycho sisters, everything like that. Of course, it's a cartoon, it's a big hit. Vanessa shows up to Alex's house one night, holds him and his pregnant wife hostage. Clara shows up. It's a big, happy family reunion until Vanessa's killed off. And that's about all I remember, because this movie was so doggone long, I couldn't hardly keep track of it, and it was just... I mean, it's a movie that my beautiful wife Sarah and I both watched and really didn't like that much. So why did this movie suck? I think part of it has to do with the timing. I mean, this movie's almost 2 hours long, and it's really hard to try and keep track of a movie that just seems like it's doing way too many stories in one movie. It's just an incredibly long... feels like you've seen this kind of thing movie, and again, when you're doing a few different stories in about a 2-hour time span, you just kind of lose interest, and you just sort of kind of don't care after a while. I think the evil son plot was a little bit stupid, especially what he did to women. For one, it's nothing quite like let's just say he has a really weird hobby, and it's nothing I've never heard of before, and if you want to see it to find out what it is, good luck. Personally, this is not something I think Sarah and I want to put into our collection. It really wasn't all that good. And from a guy who directed, as you can see right there, the horror classic Let's Scare Jessica to Death and Bang the Drum Slowly, although I don't think that was a horror movie, this movie was just incredibly bad. And I've checked out other reviews on it, and it has mixed reviews. Some people thought it was actually quite good, but a lot of people thought it felt like it had plots of other horror movies in it, and it just seemed like there was just way too much weird stuff going on in it, and it just wasn't that good, and it just wasn't that suspenseful. So, yeah. I mean, again, sorry, I hate to repeat myself, folks, but almost 2 hours for a suspenseful horror movie, whatever you want to call it. You got to try and stick with one plot, and this one just went all over the place, and it just made us lose interest. So there you guys have it, a review of Suspended Animation. Wrong time, wrong place, wrong sisters. Bad time to spend 2 hours watching this piece of crap. There I go again, sorry. So that's going to do it for this edition of Doc Schlock. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. If you have a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, fantasy horror movie that hopefully didn't bore you to tears too much and it wasn't that long, or even if it was, you still hated it, no matter what the length of time was, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching, and until next time, as always, stay strong, rock on, and stay warm, but don't go near any cabins in the woods with psychotic people in it, no matter how nice they look.